What's up, everyone? So I feel like it wasn't even that long ago when budget phones all looked like this. And now for under $100 you can get something that looks like this. It's really great to see some progress in the lower end of the device spectrum. This is the Note 8 by Xgody and it's only $86. So let's see how much fun you can get for that price as we have now moved into 2021. So right off the bat, the first thing you're going to notice is that this phone looks modern. It looks like a mid to upper mid-range phone, and it's very with the times as far as design is concerned. You have that nicely sized 6.3-inch screen with some pretty minimal bezels, the teardrop notch that doesn't take up too much space, and just the whole back of the phone, which looks really pretty. But there are obviously going to be some drawbacks and some things that are not what they seem. The phone is running Android 9.0, and honestly, it runs decently smooth most of the time, and of course, what I'm saying is all relative to the cost. Inside you have some pretty standard budget phone parts. I'll throw up the full specs on screen, but you have 2 gigs of RAM, 16 gigs of storage, and a normal budget phone CPU and GPU. Also, you can upgrade the phone's storage with a micro SD card that is up to 64 gigs in size. You don't expect to be gaming on this phone, and you're really just looking for something that functions. Swiping through the home screen and doing basic tasks, everything is smooth and very usable, with some okay loading times here and there. Although, as you might expect, if you're doing things like scrolling through Reddit, you will have some constant stutters, but playing games such as like Mario Run and Candy Crush, simple things, it runs fine with very little slowdowns. But once you move on to things like Asphalt 9 or whatever, the line obviously gets drawn there. If you were to hand this phone to someone and not let them go into the OS just purely based on build and looks, they would not be able to tell this is a super budget phone. Like I said, looks are great. It's got some weight to it, coming in at 195 grams. The build is all plastic, but really the only thing that could maybe cast some doubt is the volume rocker and power button on the right side of the device. Clicking them, they feel fine, but a lot of the time when you're holding the phone, they just kind of like rattle around and wiggle a lot. The media experience on the phone is fine. The screen is 6.3 inches big. Here's it compared to an iPhone 11 Pro Max. The resolution comes in at 1040 by 480, giving it 240 pixels per inch, which is below standard HD, but is perfectly, fine for something like this. The viewing angles are and the max brightness is decent. You're getting what you'd expect. When it comes to budget phones, it's very common to see things like speakers and cameras not perform too well. And this is also where I have a few valid gripes with the device because honestly, I don't have many. For the price of just under $90, what you're getting is a whole lot of phone. But back to what I was saying. With the speakers, you have the grill at the bottom left of the phone and then the earpiece up at the top, which is fake. The speaker quality is most definitely usable. I wouldn't listen to this over any other device, but it's, I guess, good enough, but I'm not a fan of the fake earpiece. As for the cameras, you may have thought that it's too good for there to be 4 cameras on a device that costs this much. And you're correct. There is 1 camera on the back and 1 on the front. The front camera is 5 megapixels and the back is 8 megapixels. And oh yeah, there is flash on the back. The camera quality is all over the place, but here's the thing. You can actually get some good quality photos if you give the camera just absolute perfect conditions. When things were just right, I was actually surprised at some of the photos that were being shot. That said, a lot of the time when you're shooting photos, you don't have the perfect conditions. And once things kind of leave that area, get a little cloudy, get a little darker, the quality takes a big nosedive into what you would expect. There's lots of grain, there's lots of blurriness, and also when you use the flash, sometimes it kind of like color shifts the whole photo into like this purple hue. It's kind of weird, but yeah, so pretty average budget phone camera that can occasionally give some good results, but I am 1000% not a fan of the multiple fake cameras. It's stupid. Always check the specs when buying a super budget phone just to make sure of what you're actually getting. Now let's lighten things up with my favorite things about the phone, the Face ID. I was very surprised to find out this phone had something like that, and it's actually functional and works. The unlock speed is actually decent and the accuracy is good. I'd say it works about like 9 out of 10 times on the first try. The speed usually comes out to around or a tad faster than entering a 4-digit password, and it's less effort. It is a bit more strict than, say, like a current flagship's version of Face ID in terms of where you can position your face to it. But it's a great feature, and it's really cool to see things from much, much more expensive phones trickle down into less expensive things like this. The back of this phone is also one of my favorite things. It's very reminiscent of current flagship design. It does look like glass, but like I said, it's plastic. I'm digging the shine on it and how it reacts to the light when it hits it, as well the curvature on the sides of the back are nice too. Something also worth mentioning is that you have a USB-C port for charging. Very awesome. And there's a headphone jack at the top. Woo! The phone also comes with a clear plastic case, a plastic screen protector, and a glass screen protector. Pretty cool. All in all, I remain impressed by what you can get in a budget phone for a bit under $100 and just, what this phone is bringing to the table. The design of this device is definitely the main focus, and you have that large full screen display and the cool back, which I just finished talking about. And things like the camera and the speaker and the screen resolution, of course, they're not going to be perfect. They're not that great, but they're functional. As well, I have to say it again, I really don't like the fake earpiece in cameras. And we also can't forget, though, about the implementation of Face ID. I hope we continue to see more flagship features trickle down in the future. Thanks for watching. The link to the Note 8 is in the description below. As well, don't forget to subscribe for more upcoming videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one.